Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Lam here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about taking time lapses with your Osmo Action. This is something that's super simple to do and the quality has been pretty good so far. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's really easy to set up, but there's definitely some things that I do want to share with you. So let's go ahead and turn on our action cam, and I'm going to go ahead and push this quick switch right here. And as you can see, I have the time lapse set on a custom setting. This is what I would recommend. When you have it set on a custom setting, that way you know exactly what type of settings you have. Let's go ahead and swipe over to the right. And this is the settings that I would recommend that you try. The max ISO I actually set lower to 800 instead of the standard 1600. That's because we're taking images and it's most likely going to be on a very solid base. Since you're going to be taking a time lapse, that means we can take more time exposing the image, which means we can lower our ISO, which is going to be good because we're going to get images with less noise. So that's definitely super helpful. EV I leave at 0. Let's go ahead and go to the camera settings. For white balance, for all of my custom settings, I always set to 5K. That's where I start off with. That's basically a very soft daylight. And that's where I just personally like to set my color balance from the start. If I need to change it, I can definitely change it. But the reason why I set it to 5000 is because that's across all of my custom settings. So I always know where I start off with and I can adjust it from there on in. Moving on to Dwarp, this is basically lens correction. I always have it on for all of my custom settings if it's available. Some settings don't have it available, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But dewarping just saves you a lot of times as that flattens out your images for you, which is super useful. And as for format, I only want the video. I don't want the individual JPEGs, as that will just increase space on my SD card. So I'm perfectly fine with video, but that is your personal preference. If we swipe upwards, there is actually a lot going on. The first thing that I want to talk about is this box up here. This is where you can actually set your resolution. It doesn't look like it, but when you press it, you can actually change the resolution that you're going to be taking pictures for. So definitely set it to the resolution that you want. My default settings is 5 seconds for 30 minutes, which will give me a 12-second time lapse. It's really nice that they give you that calculation so that you know how long your time lapse is. Adjust it to what you like, but for me, whenever I do videos, I never use more than 3 to 5 seconds of a time lapse, so that is plenty of buffer for me. Now, there are a few suggestions that I would give you. If you have a lot of action that's going on within that 30 minutes, you definitely want to lower it down to about 3 seconds. But if you're going to be taking a really long time lapse, like watching clouds move throughout the day, then you definitely want to go up to like 10 to 15 seconds because clouds take a long time to move throughout the day. And then you're going to have to adjust your time accordingly. So if I did 10 seconds, then that's going to be entirely way too short for me. I would move it up to at least an hour if I was going to do a picture every 10 seconds. So some things for you to think about for that. Other than that though, the only suggestion that I would give you is you might consider actually going into photo mode and just taking a quick picture of what you want to take a time lapse of. That way you can actually check your composition, your color, your lighting, all of that stuff. And then you can quickly switch back over to your time lapse again, and then you can start your time lapse. But those are my recommendations. If you have any other tips and tricks that you want to share, definitely leave it in the comments below. I definitely would love to read them and incorporate it into my process. But that's all I have to share for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.